everyone, my name is Lydia. Welcome to Burn Pilates. Today I'm going to be leading you through a class that does involve using some props, and if you don't have these props from home, please know you will still get benefits by following along and forgetting the props, just using your own body weight. We're going to be using a Pilates box. If you don't have one, you can also use a workout bench. Using a Pilates air-filled ball along with a set of light handheld weights can also be supplemented with either a rolled up cushion, towel, or a couple bottles filled with water. Set your mat up, keep some water close by that you can take sips on as we flow, and let's get right into our class together. Welcome. If you don't have a box, if you don't have a bench, then you will be following along in the movements from the mat, just like you would in any other mat class. Setting up on your bum, bring yourself down, grab your Pilates ball, and right away, take your body into a positioning where you have your back completely flat, where you have your legs lifted in tabletop, hands behind the nape of your neck to help support your posture. If you're using a bench and your head can fully release your head weight down. If you're on the mat, have your hands supported next to your hips, have your head relaxed. And if you have the box right here and your head isn't completely on it, just make sure you're applying a bit of pressure from your head into your hands. Take a full breath into your nose. And on your exhale, squeeze your ball. Right away, activate into your obliques. Feel your abs, feel your inner thighs. Inhale, soft, smooth, let go. And exhale, squeeze into the ball. We're gonna go for 2 more. Activating through your breath and the sides of your body and ribs. Exhale, belly tightens, inner thighs work. 1 last time. Keeping the squeeze of your ball, smoothly bring your heels all the way into your glutes. Lower your feet to the floor. Find that connectivity with your feet grounded. Take an inhale, release, and exhale, squeeze the ball. Thoracic curl, looking towards your ball, navel to spine. Breathe in and exhale. From here, what we're doing is making sure that the hips are staying stable and that the contraction from the abdominals is happening and gliding the ribs towards the hips. Deep breath in and exhale. Go for a last one. And exhale. Hold onto your ball, keeping your neck long. Apply a bit of pressure from your head into your hands. And if you need to modify and you're on the floor or you're on a bench, you can always have your head released. You're going to take your right leg all the way out, extend it long, squeeze into your ball, take a full breath in, lower down, exhale, stay. Second side. You're stabilizing by squeezing into the ball, by maintaining that connection through your abs where your hips and back aren't overly arching and aren't tucking. Let's go for 1 more each side. Deep breath in. Squeeze into your ball. Take your foot all the way to your floor. From here, reach your hands all the way around towards your hamstrings. Take an inhale and exhale. Pull yourself all the way up, sitting your bum back on your box. Bring your ball all the way behind you. And with your ball right between mid-shoulder blades down towards mid-ribs. Support yourself with your C-curve, feet separated again, hip bone, sit bone width and distance, hands behind the nape of the neck. Little bit of a pressure from your head into your hands. You're maintaining again the curl from the abs. The ball is helping support you. This exercise down on the floor is where we usually work from. And what the box has done here is added some depth. So instead of having a shorter distance to travel, you've got a bit more of a distance here, hinging your foot from the floor up to your hips. We're going to start with the right leg, taking a tabletop. Take a full breath in. And exhale, lower down. You can go as deep as the floor. If that's too deep, don't go as deep as that. If you're on your mat and you don't have a box, the movement's the exact same. Nothing's changed except for the depth that you've added if you have a box. Go for 1 more. Control from your abs, the lower and the lift. You're cranking your leg up and down from your obliques, from your transverse. Take a full breath in, switching sides. Fill up your ribs and back and exhale. Left leg lifts. We're just doing 4. For 3. Woo. Control right here, not to overly arch. Keeping neutral as much as you can, while increasing the abdominal flexion by gliding your ribs up and over top of that ball towards your hips. Last time from here, taking your foot to the ground, deep breath in. Reach your arms forward again, grabbing your hamstrings and lifting your torso all the way up. We're going to set up right away for our first plank. Take your ball to the floor, using your hands on your mat, your box, whatever you are working with today. Find a stretch, long arm plank. Shoulders right away, nice and wide. Expand and extend through your back. Feel where your legs are squeezing into center. Take a full breath in. And exhale, engage through your glutes. Now feel where your bones are pushing into the midline so your muscles can wrap around them. Keeping your lats active. Take an inhale and exhale, hold for 4. Last 3, last 2, last 1. You're going to make your way to kneeling on the mat or the box. Taking your arms wide, making sure you still have a little soft bend into your elbows. Extend your left leg all the way back, parallel. From here, starting with our first arabesque series. You lower down to the floor and breathe out as you lift, going no higher than that left hip bone in height with the right. You're keeping your hips level, like headlights of a car. So as you can see, this is a mat exercise, but taken on the box, you've got more depth. Trying to keep your spine fully stretched, activating through your core, ribs knitted into that midline. If ever you need to modify onto your forearms because your wrists are feeling sensitive, you can always do that. Just make sure that you're feeling that your upper back is also working and that there's pressure as you bring your leg down. Like you're pushing through water. And that's the resistance work that you're trying to find in opposition. The leg goes down, the abs pull up. Go for a last one here. Lower down and lift. You're going to take your leg halfway down, breathe in and exhale. Abs and glute contracting, chest, arms, and back working. Deep breath in and exhale for 4, 3, 2, last 1. Exhale. Take your knee all the way through center. From here, step your feet back so that you can give yourself a first initial stretch. Shoulders down, roll them out. Walk your feet into center. Reach your palms from behind and give your back a stretch, either reaching out or reaching down. Make sure not to collapse through your spine. Always support through activation of your muscles. And from here, going right away with our weights, you're going to grab your weights and you're going to sit down on your box, taking your feet directly forward. Now, if you're sitting on the mat, you may do these exercises cross-legged instead of having your feet directly on the floor in front of you. And if you have a chair, make sure that you're not seated all the way towards the back of it. Sit on the chair so there's space between your back. We're going to be going right away into the arm work, lifting the elbows up. The goal is to sit tall, is to have the feet slightly forward if your knees are bent. From your knees to shins, there should be a diagonal. You're not here, you're slightly away. Pull the abs in. Have your wrists right away solid over top of your elbows. There's a 90-degree alignment, and the wrists are very, very, very strong. From here, take a full breath in. Sit tall through your spine, and on your exhale, open up. Activate through your back and chest, and feel where you're sitting tall. Your core, your abs are stretched out, but they're strengthened out in that length. Ribs over hips. The more pressure that you feel in closing and opening and sitting tall, the more stomach work you will feel, which is the goal. And that's the same as if you're seated cross-legged on the floor. The more you're pushing your thighs down to the floor, the more you're sitting tall, you will feel your pelvic floor and deep stomach muscles work. It's not your rectus abdominis, it's those deep, deep, deep stabilizers. Go for a last set here of 4, neck staying long. Checking out the wrists, make sure they're staying over top of the elbows. They're not starting to break or go to this position. They're really strong. Last set of 2. Finish with 1 more. Keep your arms wide to the side, and as you lower your elbows down, find 90 degrees right towards your lower ribs, as if you want to touch your elbows behind your back. Take an inhale. On your exhale, reach your arms through the midline, stretch on up. Touch your weights in center, biceps lengthening next to temples. Pull your arms all the way down like you're doing a chin up. Reach up, shoulders elevate, you stretch, get longer, and then as you pull down, I want you to imagine you're pulling 2 cords of resistance from the ceiling. The pull down is what you were trying to emphasize. Down, down, get those lats engaged. Elevate the shoulders and then depress them as you come down, collarbones wide, neck long. I love working with light weights because they become heavy. The more you're able to slow down and the more you're able to find resistance in the body. So it's really twofold, which we're always trying to do, create that resistance relationship. Last one from here. Stomach well tight, navel pulls in, feel your arms, stretch your ribs away from your hips, and then as you pull down, your chest is lifted, collarbones expand. Take an inhale, close your arms all the way forward, palms turn in, pull back, weights coming in towards your waist, reach out, shoulders pull back as the wrists go forward. Neck is long, pull in, and exhale. Go for here, last set of 3. Pulling it in. For 2, last one in, last one out. Smoothly, go with control, never just let your arms drop. Take your weights down, place your weights to the side of your floor, and setting up right away, second side, on all 4s. You're gonna extend your right leg all the way out, make sure that your lats are engaged, hips are centered, lower down, right toes touch the floor, lift on up. Check in right away with your body and its length, that you're not rounding your upper back, that you're not tucking your hips or arching your spine to get height on that lift. Your hips are like headlights of a car. Your left knee is pushing down into the floor to stabilize your thigh. And as you bring your right leg down, imagine you're pushing through water. Create that resistance where your abs are controlling the weight of your leg. Reach down. Deep breath in. We're going to go here for a last set of 4. Stretching the knee longer and longer. Upper back engaged. Lats on. Feel that you're squeezing your arms in towards your sides, in towards your armpits. Last 2. Go for a final 1 from here. And lowering down halfway. Find your own halfway from where you're working today. Inhale and exhale. It's a catch and release. You want to get that right butt to do the contraction to lift, to stretch your knee entirely out. Hips square, abs on. Last set here, 4. Last set of 3. For 2. Finish with 1 more. Exhale to lengthen. Take your right knee all the way onto your box. And from here, setting up one more time in a plank. Hands on the box, or again, if you're working from the mat, they're on the floor. Stretch your thighs all the way out. From here, find length in your torso. Take a full breath in. And exhale, mountain climb. If you have the box, you're bringing your knee directly onto the box, slightly touching, stretching back. If you're in a plank, your knee is driving towards your wrist. Try to keep your tailbone out. Don't let your back do this. Don't round. Keep your tailbone out, but also equally, don't push your butt up. It's so funny when I see people work on an object where their upper body is higher, they bring their butt up as well. You want to keep your body in the alignment you started with. Your feet are lower than your hands, so don't try to round your back. Don't try to push your butt up. You're stretching your spine out and you're using your abs to draw the leg in while keeping opposition. Tailbone out. Exhale. Last set of 4. Last set of 3. Last set of 2. Finish with one more here. Deep breath in and exhale. Take your feet to the floor and walk yourself all the way in to a ragdoll, supporting on the box. You could also support with your hands on the floor if that feels better. Just do what feels best. Make sure your knees are soft. And exhale. When you're ready, bend your knees and softly unravel. Come all the way up to standing. We're going to be setting up right away, using the box yet again. As you make your way down to your seated position, you're going to, from here, have your ball right between the center of your thighs. Bring your weights close enough that they're easy to find. You can also keep them in your hands if it's easier for you on your way down. We're setting up for bridges, and when we set up for bridges on the box, what you want to do first is make sure that you do have support for your head and for your back. So what I like to do is I like to bring my hands towards the very edge of the box. I like to drop my hips down to the point that I feel the wood or just the edge of it touch my sacrum. And then once I know my butt is off the box, I can then lie my upper back and chest and head down. You want to feel that you have space between your last ribs down towards the end of your glutes, hips, where there's space to move. And then what you want to do is grab your weights, setting up, arms stretched up to ceiling. Now you're keeping your hips lifted, you're keeping your glutes right away on. If you are in a bridge position from your floor, your hips will be higher up than your shoulders. Because my shoulders are elevated and my feet are lower than my shoulders, my hips are going to be level to my knees and back. From here, turn your palms in, shoulders down. Take an inhale. We're going to go right away into chest press, and as you open, you're pulling down. Again, think of grabbing resistance from the ceiling and pulling. Don't let your hands go past your peripheral. Again, the lift is less important. I want you to pull down, down, down. Now squeeze your ball and go for a last set here of 4. Exhale for 3. Deep breath in. Exhale for 2. Go for a last one. You're going to take your arms up. You're going to keep your palms this time turned in, knuckles facing out. Lower your hips. If you're in a classic bridge position from the mat, your hips will touch the floor in neutral and you lift on up. As you lower it down from the box, make sure you're not overly arching, but that you're just feeling the crease of your hips increase as you lower, and as you lift, squeeze your ball. Knees over top of heels. You should never feel like your legs are jutting forward, so walk your feet a little more front if you need. If you need more space for your back and you want more range of motion, you can creep your shoulders down. Exhale, just make sure you're listening to your back. Make sure you're not straining. Abs activating, shoulders releasing down. Plug them down into your box and mat. From here, we're going to add on, as you lift your hips into that bridge, pull your weights down towards your ribs. Touch the floor or touch the box with your elbows, whatever surface you're working from. Deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze your ball, lift. Last set here, 5. Physically pull down. Get those triceps activated like a reverse chaturanga. You're pulling cords from the ceiling. Now plug your shoulders down. Don't let them protract. Last one. Exhale, lift, lift, squeeze. You're going to smoothly, from a bicep curl, reach your arms out. If you're on the box, bring your hips down. If you're not on the box and you're on the mat, come on up. Take your feet forward, stretch your thighs, and with your arms, just reach out. Hands on the ball or on the floor. Keep your feet flexed, but don't force the stretch. Just work to let go. When you're ready to unravel, make your way all the way up. Release from your ball, take your arms forward, take an inhale. Just twisting here. Exhale, open up one arm to the side. Come all the way back through center, sit tall. And exhale, opposite arm. One more each side, deep breath in and exhale. Find the twist. Breathe out. Coming all the way back through center, release your arms down, and just give yourself a nice little shoulder shrug. Thank you so much for joining me for this class where we use the box, where we got in some activity with some props. Again, if you weren't using the props, you will still have felt the benefits. This kind of work is taking classic mat, adding depth, adding elements that could be almost workout inspired, reformer inspired, to give you the understanding of working with gravity, creating resistance in your own body, and really cultivating intention in the quality of movement. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them for me in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this class, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet to Burn Pilates, I invite you to subscribe and join me weekly for classes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with choice, with options, so that you can personalize your Pilates practice with me. Whether it's on the mat or standing in stretch or active classes, there's a ton of variety here on Burn Pilates. Have an awesome morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And guys, thank you again for joining. I'll see you at the next burn.